Only one rule around here. Tech rules everything.
Our friends at Ubisoft Studios all over the world are working very hard on Watch Dogs 2. They're almost done. Thomas Geffroyd is here with me. He's the content director on this massive, massive game. We were a little bit, worried this might not actually end up being a franchise, but we're glad to see the Watch Dog brand reinvested in. Obviously, the first game was very, very successful financially, but it appears to me that you guys have been working your butts off to sort of add layers of depth and layers of authenticity, keep people very happy. And one of the key things that I think we're going to really see out of Watch Dogs 2 is your efforts to be as real as possible with the sort of hacking culture out there. Tell me about that work.
Yeah, basically we've been spending a lot of time, and it started with Watch Dogs 1, but the topic we had, the vengeful single character, was not really easy for us to describe the community and go deeper inside the hacking universe and the hacking culture. However, for this title, the way we handled that, it was clear from the beginning that we had to do our homework on this, and through relationships we have the community, consultants we have, and even people from universities like anthropologists. We've managed or tried to get this as right as possible.
The hacking culture is so kind of much about sort of breaking down the cultural norms and a lot of the sort of economic sort of status quo. Is it weird to be working in that realm with what is obviously such an expensive project and a huge investment from Ubisoft?
I think there are two components to that. The first one is we try to treat it with a lot of respect. We're not trying to instrumentalize the culture or the history of hacking. Right. There is a lot of respect with whatever we do, and I think we spend so much time with the community going to all the cons and sharing what we work for, that it feels great to us, and we don't pervert something beautiful. Yeah. The other way around is that for the community, they've been treated so badly for so many years that as soon as they can see someone putting the efforts to try to be accurate about the hacking community and the positive side of the hacking ethos, they're thrilled about that and they want to work with us.
Well, tell me a little bit about that, because there's a lot of law breaking going on in Watch Dogs as a franchise, but definitely you see a lot of that in Watch Dogs 2 again. Innocents sort of get in the way quite a bit in this game. What's the sort of white hat kind of scenario with the sort of approach with these hackers that we get to play as and with in the game?
I think we've focused on player liberty to do whatever they want and player expression. So we didn't want to go one way or another. It will be for the player to decide. However, we had DedSec, and DedSec is inspired by hacktivists, so they always have some very positive ideas how they want to go there, but how do they handle that and how they make it happen can be sometimes borderline. And we want the player to experience that, saying we have a goal, but how am I going to go there? How am I going to execute this plan we have? So through player expression and through the variety of characters we have in DedSec, we hope that people will be able to understand many facets and many I would say point of views that the hacking community may have on those topics.
I know that the creators of Mr. Robot have been very concerned about actually being hacked by hackers themselves, because they're dealing with, somewhat touchy subject matter, as are you, and you're also dealing with, a lot of very computer-savvy programmers, some of who may have friends in the hacking community. Is there any concern at Ubisoft that you start sort of poking the bear a little bit with, creating a game about hacking that you guys might feel the wrath?
I think that's a good way to put that. Is this idea that we could be hacked because we poked the bear is a great way to keep us in line and try to be true to the hacking community. Yeah. However, I think the subjects we deal with, and we also work with the blue and red team within Ubisoft or security, I think it has helped Ubisoft tightening up some knots within the company, so it's good for everyone.
I mean, is that part of the message of Watch Dogs? I mean, it certainly is with Mr. Robot, I think, is just be very sort of wary about where your information is and how much use you have on the internet. Is that kind of one of the through lines of Watch Dogs as well? Is there a little morality tale to this?
I don't think there is morality because we leave that to the people to make their own, but I think all the topics we're having in the game and the missions you will be playing are true to life, and we're really close to the news of today. I mean, you're going to be playing hacking elections, which is very of today concern, and other missions throughout the games. So the idea for us is really to be as close as possible to real issues so that we can generate a dialogue, or at least generate people to think about that. So a large part of the work we're doing is taking some very complicated technical things or ideas and to simplify them so people can play with them and can start having some kind of an idea of the risks of technology, but also the beauty of it.
Now, you worked with, obviously hacking experts and people that are sort of educators around this stuff, and they're writing about it, journalists in the hacking culture. How deep did you go into that space? Were you dealing with actual hackers themselves? And
yeah, we worked. We have some consultants that are active hackers that are doing amazing things. Cannot talk about, but also spending a lot of time at long time at DEF CON. I've been there for the past 6 years now. So it's through those links. But what is amazing about the hacking community is that they are super open. So it's really easy to get very good information because they want to share. It's a culture based around sharing and about welcoming the people that are curious. And obviously we are super curious about it.
So when you see stuff that happens like with the DNC and all of that sort of information, that private quote unquote information becoming public, do you just slap your forehead? I mean, you know quite a bit about hacking now because you've been having to dive deep into this space. Is the sort of corporate world and the political world just not getting it? Are they just not able to keep up with what's happening?
No, I don't think they can, and that's why we're trying so hard to represent hacker as a positive force, because we truly believe that we need those guys. We live in a world where technology is so prevalent and it's getting so complicated it almost looks magical. Obviously, we cannot trust our governments. We know they do some shady things, and the big corporation alike. So the only person that can really help us as citizens, as consumers, to be safe are the hackers. It's time to have the hackers being put in the place they should be, which is helping us to live in this techno world.
Is that also an invitation to the game players to do whatever they can to break your game as well? Or is that sort of the open bookness of this entire enterprise?
Absolutely. We want people to play with the systems and to do things we haven't thought about, and eventually to break the game and hack it through the systems. I think this is where creativity can be expressed in the game, and that's also something hackers do on a regular basis for their body of work.
It's kind of hacking the game, right?
Absolutely. We want them to do that, but not through code or exploits, but through playing with the systems and the tools we've given them.
You've been in this world now with this game, but also with all of this research and sort of culture that you've surrounded yourself with. What scares you about hacking and about this information disclosure and trying to sort of keep a private identity out there?
Oh, I think what scares me is people. It's not hacking, because hacking is performed by people. So I'm worried about the next, nutcase that could do something bad. But I'm also concerned about the ineffectiveness of our government and institution to regulate those things. And I think we're dealing with big data, and that's one big problem. We don't know what people are doing with that. There is a whole sub-economy, we call that the surveillance capitalism, which is making a lot of money today, handling our very own data and compiling them and doing we don't know what with. So we need to come up with some regulation, and we need to find solutions to have a happy life, a digital life, without being threatened to be ruined at some point.
I think next time we're gonna need a higher firewall, pal. Cyber Driver.
Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.